Welcome to my home. Come on in. Welcome to my house. I am very excited to show you around today. A few weeks ago, my husband and I moved into this 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1,000 square foot house in the Joshua Tree area of Southern California. If you missed the video about me talking about this very big move and downsize for us, I will link last week's video down below, but let me show you around. First up, the living room. So this is a very open concept house, so there's not really any separation in the rooms. The living room leads right into the dining room, that leads into the kitchen. This house really just is sort of one big room and a bedroom. Also the bathroom, I guess you could say it's sort of like 3 rooms if you want to count the bathroom. But this living room area definitely is one of my favorites in the house. This L-shaped couch makes it feel really cozy in here. It helps define the space a little bit, and it's just a really comfortable couch. I like that the table that we have in here is sort of light and easy to move around. So if we do need to add some more seating or change this around at all, it's really easy to move that table around. And I love these 2 smaller chairs that we have in here too. It allows us to have a lot of seating in here without taking up a ton of space with the furniture. But for sure, the hero of this space and what made me fall in love with the house is the view and the windows. So you sit on the couch right where I am and you look directly out these windows to the valley and the mountains, and it's honestly breathtaking. It's probably the reason that we ended up buying the house, was just how struck we were by the view up here. This is an older house. It was built in the 1950s. The windows are original to the house, which is charming, but as we're learning, potentially not that energy efficient, but still love the way that they frame the view. And this is for sure one of our favorite spots in the house. So we're still working through the decor, exactly how we want it. We do have some things up on the walls, some pieces of decor here and there. So it's starting to come together. It's starting to feel like home a little bit. And then when you first walk in, we have this beautiful glass table. And if you watched my last video, you know that we're trying to find some balance here in our minimalism. In this house, it's just calling for a little bit more warmth and coziness and a little bit more decor and things out and about. So we have a few pieces on this table right now. Enough that it doesn't feel sort of sparse and unwelcome, but not too much that it feels cluttered. So again, we're still kind of working through what works for us here. And then we also have this piece that right now is holding all of our books. And one of my favorite things that we did in this house was make a charging station that's hidden within these 2 doors. So in our old house, one of the things that was driving me crazy is that we had charging cords and cables everywhere. It was really annoying to clean around them. I would constantly trip on them. We're trying this where everything is sort of charging in one spot. Again, we haven't lived here very long, but in the first few weeks that we've been here, it seems to work really well. And the other thing that I really like about it is that it's gotten our phones out of the bedroom. So I got myself an analog alarm clock, and the phones charge out here with the doors closed, and it really just brings like a nice calmness to the bedroom. All right, moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen here is really open, really airy, and a lot larger than the kitchen that we had in our old space. Having upper cabinets is new to us. We're still figuring out the best way to utilize those for sure. A lot of the long, skinny cabinets in the kitchen don't fit a lot of stuff, so we're struggling a little bit to find our way and navigate our way through getting all our stuff in this kitchen. But I love that it has sort of the big peninsula that comes out of it that has a couple stools at it where you can eat. And then it has this handmade wooden island in the middle that is just an absolute game changer. It's a beautiful piece, but it also has a bunch of prep space and extra storage in it. And it does a nice job because this room is so open. I like that it gives it a little bit of definition between the kitchen area and the dining room area. And then we decided to display all of the dishes on these open shelving. This shelving unit is actually something that I found on the property here, just was sitting outside, and I cleaned it up a little bit, brought it inside, and we're using it to house all of our dishes, which Makes it really easy. If we have people over for dinner, they can easily just grab their own stuff. I like kind of having it out and about. They're used so often that it's not something that I feel like I end up having to dust all the time because they're getting washed all of the time. It doesn't accumulate a lot of dirt or dust. And then like I was saying, we don't really have a lot of great storage in this kitchen or in this house in general. If you watched my last video, you know that we were struggling in that this house only has one closet. Not like one clothes closet, but one closet total, like linen closet, clothes closet, everything closet. It has one closet. So we've had to get creative with some of the storage solutions. So one of the things that we did was go down to the flea market. We picked up this beautiful old chest for 20 bucks, by the way, $20. And it holds all of Gypsy's food and all of her leashes, her treats, all her stuff all goes in this trunk. And then it's a cute little piece that fits nicely with the decor of the house. And then lastly, sort of part of the kitchen, but across the room is this old, I think it's called a pie chest. This is an old piece that we bought recently. It's from the 1800s. It's a beautiful wood. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's this like deep, deep navy color. But we're using this as a pantry. There's not a lot of food storage. We definitely needed something extra, so we picked up this beautiful piece and are using it to house all of our bulk foods and things like that. All right, next up is the dining room. So this is the area right in front of the kitchen. It really just consists of this nice long wooden table. We can seat about 6 here. We could fit 8 if we really wanted to squish a little bit. But my favorite part is that there's a twin window to the window that is in the living room. There's another window here that's the same. It's the original windows with the view out into the valley. So if you sit on the side of the table that faces out towards the mountains, you get the money view. If you remember our old house, we didn't have an area in that house that was like a formal eating area. We didn't have a table. So this actually feels like a really big luxury to us. Murphy and I keep saying like, wow, it's so great to like sit at a table and eat. A lot of times in the old house, we were like sitting on the floor in front of the coffee table, but sometimes it really is nice to add some things and some furniture to your life. All right, let's go into the bedroom. So this move was a really stressful one. Moving in general can be one of the most stressful times in anybody's life. It can leave you feeling unbalanced, you're disrupted from your routines and from your normalcy. I've always found therapy to be one of the best tools to carry me through stressful times, and that's why I am so excited to be partnering with BetterHelp for today's video. Starting therapy can sometimes be the hardest part, and I know for me, living in a rural area, finding a therapist can be hard. BetterHelp can match you with one of over 30,000 licensed therapists in their network, which gives you access to a wider range of expertise than might be available in your area. And if the therapist that you're matched with doesn't feel like a good fit, which can be common when you're starting therapy, you can switch therapists at any time with no additional cost or worrying about insurance or who's in your network or anything like that. With BetterHelp, you can have your therapy sessions via phone call, video chat, or even messaging. So whatever is the most comfortable version of therapy for you. And it's easy to get started. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to assess your needs, and you'll be matched with a therapist, in most cases, within 48 hours. Therapy with BetterHelp has been critical to helping me through some of the most stressful times in my life. Over 4 million people have started using BetterHelp to find a happier and healthier life. If you'd like to try it too, click the link in the description box down below or visit betterhelp.com/Rebecca.sisson. Clicking that link not only supports this channel, but gives you 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Back to it. The bedroom. So like I said, this is a 1-bedroom house, but it is one sizable bedroom. I do like that this has a lot of space in it. Enough space for our nice big king bed. We have a little sitting area in the corner, dressers for both Murphy and I, as well as Gypsy's bed. So one of my favorite things about this room is the light in the windows. This side of the house kind of butts up against the mountain. And so when the sun rises, it rises behind that mountain, and it's just this really gentle introduction to the day. It takes quite a long time for the sun to peek over that mountain, and it just gets a little bit lighter with every moment that goes by. And it's this really nice ease into the morning. I love the light in here. And then we have our one and only closet in here. It's a beautiful, original to the house, built-in closet, but it is short on space for sure, especially when you consider this has to house anything that we would want in a closet. As minimalists, we don't have very big wardrobes. We were able to fit the majority of our clothes in here, as well as using this as a linen closet, so all of our extra towels and bedding and things like that are also in this closet. And then I'll just quickly show you the bathroom here. Not a lot to see in here. We do have dual vanity, which is really nice, a sink for both of us, which is not something that we've had before. Again, a little short on space. We're still trying to navigate how to best fit all of our things in here, but then we have a nice tub and stand-up shower in here as well. And then last but not least, let me take you into my office. So this office space is directly off the bedroom. It does have a Murphy bed in it, and I think it was meant to house guests. We might use it for that from time to time, but honestly, the guests wouldn't get very much privacy. There's just a thin little curtain that closes this off from our bedroom and where we would be sleeping. But in a pinch, we might use it, or we also might rip it out and eventually put more storage and more closet in here. We'll see. But this is actually where I spend a good amount of my time. I work from home, so I wanted to make sure the space was really comfortable and really cozy. Again, the big windows with the great view out to the mountains, which when I moved in, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so productive in this space. It's such a beautiful thing to look at, but then turns out just distracts me. I spend all my time looking out the windows. But I have this beautiful vintage desk, which I really love, and my favorite part is what I thought was a little pull-out drawer is actually a little pull-out tray almost that I can feed all of my cords through, where I can keep my laptops and my notepad. It's just a really nice way to keep things kind of neat and organized in the desk. And then I've paired it with this very comfortable chair. I had a standing desk in my old house, and I'll be honest, I do kind of miss it. But if I'm gonna sit in a chair, I want it to be very comfy. I want it to be able to cross my legs up underneath me. A nice big comfy chair as my desk chair in here. And no tour would be complete without showing you the best room in the house. So this is California living at its finest. We essentially took all of our furniture from our old house and set it up out here to be really cozy, really comfy. We call it our favorite room in the house, even though it's outside the house. It's plenty of space for people to come over. We just added this fire pit, which we actually found at a yard sale. It's really just an old washing machine drum, but it works perfectly as a fire pit. And then come this way. And then over this way is a little bit of seating for outdoor eating, dining, etc. Again, we have a great view, and then we've just wrapped this pole that we found on the property with some fairy lights so that you have some light while you're eating. All right, that concludes the house tour. I guess when you have only a one-bedroom house, a house tour goes by pretty quickly. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you watching. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.